William Gaddis once said, "Justice may be for the afterlife. In this life, we're left with law." Our law-based society is only as strong as the agents who are there to bring law and justice. And in that sense, that combined scholarly and training activity to bring the best minds that we can find into our classroom and into the lives of our students, to give them that sense of, yes, practical skills, but also the grandeur, the role that they fill in this society, if not this broader civilization, that is, to do good through law.
In the spring of 1913, 8 men, all from Utah, received law degrees. Commencement celebrated the first class of the newly created University of Utah College of Law.
It's interesting that the founding of the College of Law kind of paralleled the founding of the state of Utah. The first idea for a university and a law school came very early in the history of the Mormon settlement of the state, but it took some time to grow. The seeds were planted in the late 19th century, but really didn't germinate until the early 20th century.
A century later, 8 graduates have grown to 7,000. As enrollment expanded, so did the college's commitment to hands-on educational experiences. College of Law students offered nearly 50,000 hours of pro bono and clinical service during the 2012-2013 academic year alone, all while strengthening their professional skills. From its first classes in the City-County building in downtown Salt Lake City to today, at the start of its next chapter in the new building, the College of Law has kept growing. Yet, despite the changes over the past century, the College of Law has remained true to its core identity: service, educational innovation, and scholarship. These values will guide the College of Law through its next century. In 1914, the College of Law and its 60 students moved to the recently opened Central Building, later known as the Park Building.
This was the nicest building on the campus. You felt a little privileged going here. Come in, walk up the marble stairs, and walk past those 5 murals.
The College of Law remained in the Park Building until 1963, when it moved into a building of its own.
Building our own building and having an entire building dedicated to the law school, definitely growth. And it did grow, I guess, very fast. Classes jumped up from 35, 40 to over 100.
The current College of Law building provides a space for faculty to challenge students and students to excel.
Well, it was the 60s, and the faculty was all young. I think trying to be reform-minded, really build the law school up. They put a lot of energy into the law review. They were pretty demanding about the law review. They were edgy, they were pushy, they tried to make the law school sharpen everybody up. It was an exciting faculty to be engaged with.
The College of Law stresses both demanding coursework and hands-on learning experiences.
The law review experience was the most rigorous writing training I ever received, which I found invaluable. They had this writing, blue booking, sort of learning hell week, where you would show up at 9 in the morning and they would give you an assignment that had to be turned in 5 in the afternoon. They give you an assignment at 5 in the afternoon that had to be turned in at 9 in the morning. And they did that for 6 days. And by the time I got to the court, I think that sort of analytic writing process that law school trained me in, I think is the centerpiece of being an appellate judge.
Enrollment at the College of Law surged through the 70s and 80s, with the largest increase coming from women.
It was an exciting place, an exciting time. It felt like things were changing rapidly, and it was talked about that more law schools were admitting more women.
Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to serve on the Supreme Court, visited the College of Law in 1985.
Of course, that was huge to have her come. It was just a very exciting time for the female students in the law school and knowing where they could go. We were so excited for her to come because it just moved us forward.
O'Connor visited the College of Law again in 1996. She is one of 5 Supreme Court justices to participate in the college's events and activities. Justices Brennan, Blackmun, Thomas, and Chief Justice Roberts also visited.
And when I think about the essence of this law school, its core identity, I think of an extraordinary service commitment, a real-world orientation that is shared by the students and faculty to go out and to make a difference in the world.
As the college grew, so did its commitment to the community, with students providing tens of thousands of hours of pro bono and clinical work each year.
There was just something really personally rewarding about sitting down with somebody, and it just felt really good to have someone thank you and walk out of the clinic being in a better place than they were when they walked into the clinic.
100 years after its modest beginnings in borrowed classrooms, and 50 years after moving into its current home, the College of Law is once again in a transitional period. As it enters its 2nd century and prepares to move into a new building as innovative as the programs it will house, the college remains committed to its core principles of hands-on student learning, cutting-edge scholarship, and community service.
The world of lawyering will not stop changing, and neither can we. This is an evolution of everything we've done in the past 100 years as we move on to meet these new challenges, and we don't expect to stop changing ever. We expect to keep getting better.